Champions Cup, folks, it's on. In a matter of hours, the one Friday game sees Connacht taking on Leinster. It's that weird thing where you get into the postseason for the Champions Cup and you've almost just forgotten what on earth went on in all the group stage stuff. I had to look it up. Connacht was 1-3, being 1 win, 3 losses. They managed to sneak through towards the bottom end of their pool. Leinster were 3-1. If memory serves, they had a game canned due to COVID. But don't quote me on that because, as I mentioned, it's a wee while ago. But either way, it's two-legged fixtures now that we're in the round of 16. And it's two of the Irish provinces going head-to-head, so it should be a pretty interesting one. And I'm looking forward to watching this one tomorrow morning, my time, when I get up. Have some brekkie and coffee. Not a bad way to start your day from the sports ground. Hopefully it's got some fine weather. We're going to quickly go through some lineups, some stats and predictions, and you guys can let me know your thoughts. Suffice to say, they've played twice this season in the URC, and both times Leinster has gone and put 40 points on Connacht, so it's certainly an uphill battle when you're facing those boys in blue, but I've watched Connacht enough times to know on their day, man, they can beat anyone. They love chucking the ball around and they're a very fun team to watch. Connacht's lineup has certainly got some big gun internationals. I mean, you got Bielan, Heffernan, they're in that front row. You've got Jared Butler, who maybe gets a little bit underrated. He's a very dynamic ball carrier. I mean, Jack Conan's not half bad for the Leinster pack either, but I like Jared Butler. Connor Oliver, interestingly, stats-wise, is I think the second top tackler in the Champions Cup this season. So he's been putting in some good shifts. Marmion and Cardi's the 19 combo. You got to think to yourself, if Connacht's going to have a chance here, Jack Cardi could probably use a good game, eh? He's such a pivotal figure in everything they do. Likewise, I looked up his stats. He's the second top point scorer in the competition. So, yeah, if Cardi does well, Connacht will hopefully do well. And Marmion's another one of those guys. You guys in Ireland seem to have a disgraceful number of halfbacks. And, Luke McGrath's another one. You guys don't have enough spots to pick them all, right? I feel like in other countries, Marmion probably would have had more international caps that he's had. But I'm getting distracted. Aki and Farrell is the midfield, so that's also pretty tight. I mean, Sammy Arnold's on the bench. Mac Hansen, who's been a bit of a revelation since moving up north. He's on the left wing, Porches on the right. O'Halloran's at fullback. So, it's not a bad. You got Blade, Papali'i on the bench, so you've certainly got some talent to bring on as well. But, Speaking of talent, there's a fair bit of it in the Leinster lineup. I mean, how many of these guys, I always say this with Leinster, how many of these guys aren't full Ireland internationals? The majority of them are. You got Healy, Sheehan and Furlong. That's an all-Irish front row. I don't think Maloney or Murphy, the two locks, have played for the men's senior team. Maybe other levels, but I don't think they've been kept by Ireland, but correct me if I'm wrong. Doris van der Fleer and Conan. Likewise, not a pretty bad back row. I mean, Van der Fleer, you associate that guy with his tackling. But, I mean, he scored, apparently, I think it was 4 tries in the Champions Cup pool stages. Again, can't remember it for the life of me. There's been a lot of rugby on between then and now. But, that's an aspect of his game which has come along pretty nicely. His carrying. McGrath, as I mentioned, is there at 9. Sexton's there at 10. I don't think Sexton's played a lot of Champions Cup. I think it was mostly Byrne, but... Again, long time ago. Henshaw and Ringrose, that's a fantastic battle to see them up against, particularly Bundy Aki, because that's 3 of the kind of key Irish midfielders there up against each other in this one. And then the wingers, Jimmy O'Brien and James Lowe. It wasn't surprising to me when I looked up the Leinster stats. Guess what? 2 of the 3 top guys for clean breaks are Jimmy O'Brien and James Lowe. I think Lowry was at the top, so an Ulsterman, but... really didn't surprise me one bit. And then the ever-reliable Hugo Keenan's there at fullback. Gibson Park's on the bench, Ross Byrne, Kieran Frawley, Dev Toner. It's a pretty good-looking Leinster lineup, I should say. Team-wise, Leinster have the most tries in the competition, the most clean breaks in the competition, the most offloads in the competition. Connacht's numbers in these categories are also pretty solid. but obviously not as good as Leinster's. Where Connacht's numbers are too high, it's actually a negative category. At least in the Champions Cup, it's been their penalties conceded, is I think second overall, which is not really a place you want to be, because you certainly don't want to be giving up field position to a side like Leinster, so they'll want to be squeaky clean. They'll want to get the home fans behind them. I don't know, maybe do Connacht want really bad conditions because maybe they're more, used to playing in high winds and whatnot. I don't know. You guys will have to let me know. But yeah, either way, predictions-wise, Leinster are favourites. 12 points with the bookies down here in NZ and 15 points with the rugby forecast algorithm. So yeah, I look forward to watching this one tomorrow morning. 7 a.m. kickoff for me. I think for you guys, it is 7 p.m. Or is it 8 p.m.? 7 o'clock GMT, 8 o'clock BST. Isn't 7 o'clock UK Ireland time? The GMT one? Goodness gracious me, well-researched video. Anyway, folks, you guys let me know your thoughts on this one. Can you see Connacht at home causing Leinster some issues, or do you think Leinster go ahead and put another 40-point scoreline on the men from Galway? You guys take care, and I'll talk to you guys again soon. See you later.